Welcome back to Harbor. It was a celebration at the White House today with Republican senators and House members bust in to cheer the biggest legislative victory so far of the Trump administration, the tax bill that passed Congress today. The president, of course, praised the legislation. Let's watch him.
I have a whole list of accomplishments that the group behind me have done in terms of this administration and this Congress, but you've heard it before. Records all over the place, and that will continue, and then some because of what we did. But $3.2 trillion, just think of it, in tax cuts for American families. And Paul Ryan and Mitch, it was a little team. We just got together, and we would work very hard, didn't we? Huh? It seems like it was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun when you win, because when you think of it, we haven't even been a year. And we did the largest tax cut in our history.
Well, the president has a long way to go selling the plan, of course. Polls show it's deeply unpopular with the American public. Only 24%, less than a quarter, in the latest NBC Wall Street Journal poll, that's this week, say they thought it was a good idea, the bill. Well, one reason the largest tax breaks do go to the corporations, the big corporations, and the rich Americans like Donald Trump. Anyway, today the president tried to sound a populist message about the bill, saying the larger exemptions for the estate tax aren't for rich people to give money to their kids, but they're to save family farms. That's what he says. The corporate tax cuts are all about jobs, 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 he says, not money in the corporate coffers, which in fact they are. But let's watch him.
One thing very important for the farmers, the great farmers and the great small business owners that were forced to sell their businesses at bargain basement numbers. We have provided, for the most part, estate taxes wiped out so they can keep their farms in the family, and that to me is a very big factor. This is going to mean companies are going to be coming back. You know, I campaigned on the fact that we're not going to lose our companies anymore. They're going to stay in our country, and that means jobs. I guess it's very simple when you think you haven't heard this expression, but we are making America great again. You haven't heard that, have you?
Well, will that message play to the American people? I'm joined by Jason Johnson's politics editor for The Root and the Washington Post, Robert Costa. Let me, you know, I tell you, Robert, this guy, you want him to sell your house someday or your old car because he's one hell of a salesman. But today I saw a lot of Republican guys, mostly guys in the Congress and the Senate, with white shirts on, all dressed up for the occasion. Do you think celebration is the right message for a tax cut that goes mostly to the top?
They're going to have to rely on the president to be the salesman next year ahead of the midterm elections, because that populism you spoke of, the mantle of populism, is really at stake in the 2018 elections. And the Democrats believe, when you talk to them on Capitol Hill, by bringing that corporate rate down from 35 to 21, they can sell this plan on the left as something that's against the working class, that's for the corporations. Yeah. But they're going to rely on Trump because he has the connection with some working class voters on the right to try to make those starch shirt Republicans on the Hill seem a little more popular.
Okay, it's a late night. My favorite notion of politics. It's late night. Guys have had a couple beers. They're sitting along a bar on Route 40 or somewhere out in the country or somewhere, and they're talking about Trump, right? And one guy says, I don't know about this tax thing. It seems like it's going to the rich. What's the other guy say? Of course it is.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to say, no, it's for us? Or a guy say, hey, I got my piece, I don't care.
Right.
Is that what they're going to say? I got my piece?
It doesn't really work. I mean, look, the most basic question, the people who are not involved in politics who I talk to are like, they just went to the tax calculator and they're like, am I going to get anything?
Yeah.
And most people I'm speaking to, they're not. Yeah. That's the big difference. This sells if next April everyone looks around and says, oh my gosh, I'm actually saving money. Right now they're not.
Well, Robert, one thing they're not getting is a postcard short form. I've always wanted, I've got an accountant. I used to remember being single, trying to do my tax, and I do it on my own, right the night before, you know, April 14th, and I would sit there doing all the math and everything. But I never thought it was simple. And he said he was going to make it a really simple tax form. You just fill it out, it's a postcard. What happened to that? That was an idea everybody would have liked. It's gone. It's more complicated than ever.
It's certainly not a postcard at all. And the Republicans have this challenge now. Will the jobs come back? They're lowering the corporate rate. We know that helps corporations here at home. But does it actually bring jobs back to the Sun Belt in the Southwest, where it's a swing area in the country? Does it bring jobs back to the Rust Belt? That's going to be the challenge for Republicans. They know the market's booming. They know the suburban Republicans are with them because their 401ks are doing well. But will the jobs come back?
Well, let's watch, because you know what drives salaries up? Labor shortages.
Right.
You got to buy people. You got to outbid people to get them to work for you. Anyway, at the White House today, Republicans took the mic one at a time, to praise the president. This is really a strange ritual. They were all doing what they always do. It seems like he has to get these hosannas from these people all the time. Let's watch them do their hosannas.
Mr. President, you made the case for the tax bill, but this has been a year of extraordinary accomplishment for the Trump administration.
Something this big, something this generational, something this profound could not have been done without exquisite presidential leadership.
I truly do believe, Mr. President, that this will be remembered as a pivotal moment in the life of our nation. But honestly, I would say to the American people, President Trump has been making history since the first day of this administration.
Come February, check your check, because that will be the pay raise of the vote for Donald Trump.
Well, Mr. President, I have to say that you're living up to everything I thought you would. You're one heck of a leader, and we love all of you. And we're going to keep fighting, and we're going to make this the greatest presidency that we've seen, not only in generations, but maybe ever.
Paul Ryan just said, how good was that?
To Trump, even in that magic moment when Orrin Hatch is a fairly straight conservative, whatever, he's what he is from Utah. He's saying something that's apparently from his heart for whatever reason. And merely Trump says, good sales pitch. Do you hear that?
Right.
I mean, even Trump can't even accept a legitimate praise. He sees it all as PR.
All as PR. And we saw it with the cabinet meeting earlier where he's scowling as Mike Pence basically is supplicating himself in front of him. I don't think the president is capable of appreciating how much other people who've worked for him, amidst his insults, actually appreciate the work he's done.
Why does he like this? Robert, you are my Trump expert. Why does he have to? Well, he's not God. You don't pray to him. But these people seem to pray to him. The stuff they say to him in his face is prayer-like.
The Republican Party presented a united front today, but it has not been a united year for the GOP.
Yeah, but why did they do it today?
Because they need to present to their base the image of success. But this is not a true portrait of the Republican Party. Excuse me?
Are they tying their wagons to this president?
100%. You don't stand in the White House next to the president, and this is the play they're making. They don't have a control of their base. They're relying on him to give them the boost with the base to go into 2018 with a tax cut and the Trump imprimatur.
It's like Trump talking about people wanting his money in the campaign. These guys will do anything.
Right.
They're unbelievable.
They're going to praise him. They're going to cheer for him. But at the end of the day, like you said, they're all going to tie themselves to Trump. When I talk to my friends in Ohio, they're asking, look, you can praise him all you want. You can say he's a great guy. He's cleaning out the swamp. But when my tow truck company, when it comes tax time, am I better off? Yeah. Most people don't have multiple employees, and they really want to see this change. Praising him doesn't make that any easier.
It's even Senator Corker and others who have had differences with President Trump. When it came to the signature policy item, they're standing right there with him.
Well, Republicans don't fall in love, they fall in line, but today they look like they were in love with this guy, and that is frightening. Frightening. Grown people in love with this character. Anyway, Jason, thank you. Jason Johnson and Robert Costa, my Trump expert. Up next.